Good afternoon, everyone. I am super excited for today's guest. We have the one and only Jonathan Blakely. Many of you may see this man at sports fields at any time of the day, 7 days a week, and wondering why he's always got these arms around these jacked up kids, winning trophies and winning games like no other. Welcome, Jonathan.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, I think we first met when we both opened our business. I'm going on 5 years in October. You're pretty close to that as well.
Yeah, we are going on. We're going on 7 years in October. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And so your family's from Asheville. Tell me what it was like growing up in the Blakely family.
Yeah, for sure. So my parents were, they're business owners themselves. They're very outgoing people, running a business themselves. And growing up for us was a lot of sports, a lot of pushing. They didn't let us give up on anything. And we were doing it. We were supposed to be done 100%. My family was always really big in the community and making sure, that we were able to always give back. They were always volunteering in the school system and everything else. But for the most part, it was a lot of sports, a lot of working. They were always on us hard about, making good grades. And that kind of sums it up.
I've had the honor of meeting both your parents, and they are definitely incredible people, stand-up characters through and through. I'm going to dig a little deeper. What are some of the valuable lessons that you learned in your life, when you had some adversity? Or did your dad help you get through that stuff with his values?
Yeah. So both of them gave me a lot of insights on, getting through adversity and getting through the hard times, whether it was while I was getting my degree or post grad, and me starting the gym and running the business. But the big things that they were always on, especially my dad, is and he never gave me option B. It was always like, hey, like, you said that, so that's what we're gonna do. And it was never an option B. I can remember failing my certifications. One of my certifications the first time, and I remember just being like, dang, like, dude, that kind of sucked, man. Like, I just failed that certification. And I remember him saying, all right, cool. When can you take it again? It wasn't hey, let's look into doing this, or hey, let's look into doing that. It was, when can you take it again, and let's make sure that we get it passed the second time. When the third time or fourth time, it doesn't matter, but let's figure it out. And my mom was always on me like, hey, like, you're not gonna sit around. You need to figure it out, and let's get it going. Which led me into doing this, because she forced me into doing a job years ago that I was kind of like, I don't really know about this. And she was like, no, you'll be fine. Go out there and you're going to work with these kids, and, you'll figure it out as you go. But they always pushing, and, getting through the hard times was a big thing for them. It's never give up, never option B. It's only option A.
So coming off of Mother's Day, it seems like Mom encouraged you to take the path less traveled, because it could have been very easy for you to go right into the family business.
Yeah. I had graduated from college, and I was working at East Tennessee State University doing baseball and football. And once I got done, I came back here to Asheville, and honestly, I was sitting around, and she said, all right, hey, they're looking for a strength coach out here. Here's the job. Go. And I was like, oh, all right. Hey, I can't sit around, obviously. Like, let me go. And she was like, they'll take the one certification you have. So why don't you just go do it? You need to get experience. You need to work. You need to figure it out. And I did it, and it led me into this right here, from her pushing me to take that one job.
And it sounds like your dad was adamant about you holding your commitments regardless of the outcome.
Yeah. Regardless of the outcome, like I said, I can remember me when I was at East Tennessee State University. I went, and I was trying to get my CSCS, which is a top level certification if you're looking to be a strength and conditioning coach. And man, I tell you what, I was doing the same thing every day. I go to practice, go to games, and as soon as I came home, no TV, no this, no that. I was like, I can study. If I got time to watch TV, I got time to study. So I studied. I worked my butt off, again and again and again. And then when I went, and like I said, that's the biggest memory I have, is I can remember going and taking that test, and I failed it. And it wasn't a fail. I mean, I was so close. I failed the first half by like 5 points, and I failed the second half by like 10 points. And I can remember saying, like, hey, like, well, there's no option B. Like, he was like, when can you go take it again? And I feel like, some other people in the world probably would have been like, well, what can you do in place of this? Or, or how about you do this instead? And he straightforward told me, he said, you're not a failure. Go do it again. When can you take it again? And I remember saying, well, I could take it again like 180 days, something like that at a time. And I remember saying, all right, cool. You got 180 days to think about it. Prepare yourself and, go get it.
So he gave you a nice little mantra from 180 days. He laid it out. This is the time.
Yeah.
Each day matters.
Yep. And he kind of got me on that train, and he was like, all right, figure it out. You got 180 days. There's nothing too much I can really do. But he was like, I just remember saying, like, hey, I got faith in you, man. I've been praying about it. I believe about it. You can do it, but you just, I'm not the one that can do it. It's got to be you, So you got to sit down and go study and figure it out.
I hope parents out there are listening. You got to hold that line for your kids. It's important. You got to set the bar high, and then you got to help them get over it sometimes. And don't lower the bar, because you're not going to be successful by lowering the bar. No. It's not going to happen.
No.
And I want to give a shout out to close up this family to your sister Mia. I think very highly of her too. She's a new mom. So congrats, Mia. And that's she works with Jonathan in the facility as well.
Yeah, she's out and about right now. But yeah. Me and her tag teaming together. She's doing she's heading up the whole health and fitness portion of it all. And then with me, myself, I'm heading up the whole sports performance part of it all. And together we make it work, because I can do the health and fitness stuff. I don't know what it is. It's kind of slow for me. I get bored of it, but she's like, she's all in for it. And I mean, she's getting great results out of people, and people are really starting to stick with it and really love what she does and how she does it. And she's got some early morning groups. I tell you that. That's the next thing. I can't do it. I can't get out of bed. But I promise you, she's here. She's here at 4 or 5 a.m. You're not getting up before her. If you're gonna outwork her, then you better think twice about it.
She is fierce with a smile.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about those two divisions, but for the people out there that don't understand, I went to school for sports medicine, and there wasn't a lot of certifications out there outside of like weekend certification courses. So the CSCS was one where you had to sit and have a 4-year degree, and it's pretty much a prerequisite to be a strength and conditioning coach. There's a couple other ones out there that are a little more obscure. They're just as intense, but at least it's a standard to enter the bar. So, when Jonathan put 4 years into that and it didn't work for him, that could be very defeating, because it's not like he just, I'm going to take this test. He worked 4 years to take this test and just missed, and he didn't give up, and he's still here. Now he's giving back to the community. What were your sports? Like, what was your journey through activity growing up, Jonathan?
Yeah, for sure. So I played football all my life growing up, and then I wrestled when I was, I was in 8th grade, and I kind of dabbled into it a little bit when I got in the freshman year of high school, and then I kind of jumped out of it there. But our football coach in middle school was really big on, hey, you guys need to stay in shape, you need to keep yourself moving, and that's how I ended up getting pushed into it. I actually really enjoyed it. I liked it. Up until me breaking my shoulder, I was actually really good at it, and I ended up getting to go to the county championships. Got down to the county championships, and I wrestled a guy that actually knew what he was doing compared to me. I was just a little bit stronger and a little bit more in shape than everyone else. I was winning matches that way, and I actually wrestled a guy out in Waynesville who went to Tuscola. And that kid actually knew what he was doing, and he got down there, and I actually got a funky position and ended up dislocating and breaking my shoulder on the mat, and I ended up, disqualifying out because of that. But but mostly it was a lot of football. I did that all growing up, and I had the opportunity when I was up at App to do it, and I ended up dropping it to be an exercise science major and to join the powerlifting team instead.
Well, for all you football players out there, if you listen to what Jonathan's saying, you'll be a better football player if you wrestle. And for anyone, for any sport out there, you could never be too strong to be a competitive athlete. You might not have the skill set as you need to develop that. But Jonathan, maybe you could speak to this in a second. But what I've seen the problem go from when I was a kid, we all played outside. We played wiffle ball, tackle football. We played every sport before we went to our practice. So our conditioning level was super high. And then we went and worked on the skill. What I see now in the market is a lot of specializations in sports training, but it kind of goes against the grain because the kids aren't very athletic. They're very good at skills, but they don't have a good foundation of strength where, I grew up wrestling, and in other countries, all they do is gymnastics and calisthenics to a certain age level, like 10 or 12, and then they start to work on the skill of a sport. What do you see going on out there, and the value in your own story of like being strong versus lack of having the skill?
Yeah. I think I see, one big thing that I see a lot here at the gym is I see a lot of kids like you said, they specialize in this one sport. And they'll swing their bat 24/7. They'll go shoot 24/7. But then there's nothing on the back end to be able to help them to progress in their sport. So they have no foundation of understanding how to jump and land. They have no foundation of upper body strength or lower body strength. And then they play these games, that'll be from 8 a.m. on a Saturday to 8 p.m. on a Saturday. And I'm like, well, man, you're asking a lot out of your body, but you're not physically trained to be able to do that, But if you would take the time, to say, hey, I'm going to take a month inside.
Can't hear you. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Let's see. Split out. How's that? Can you hear me now? Is it working now? Can you talk? Can't hear me either. Technical difficulties here, folks. Let me remove you. Add. How about now? Anything? Shit. Let me do this. Hold on. Can you hear me now? I can't hear you though. All right, we're going to have to take a pause for technical difficulty. I'm going to end this and then I'll keep Jonathan on here. So.